When I first started out, one of the biggest challenges was figuring out how to price my services. Too high and I might scare off potential clients, too low and I wouldn't be covering my costs, let alone making a profit. By the time I factored in my time, editing, travel, and other expenses, I barely broke even. It was a hard lesson, but it led me to discover pricing calculators. So if you've ever felt lost when setting your prices, stick around because this video is for you. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is a photography pricing calculator? This is a tool designed to help you figure out how much you should charge for your services. It takes into account various factors like your costs, desired profit margin, time investment, and even the specific type of photography you're doing. The result? A clear, realistic price that ensures you're not just covering your expenses, but also making a fair profit. These calculators are often used by both beginners and seasoned professionals to set rates that reflect their true worth. This tool isn't just about numbers, it's about valuing your time, skills, and creative vision. Once I started using a pricing calculator, everything changed. I wasn't just guessing anymore. I actually had a clear understanding of what my time and skills were worth. Not only did I start making more money, but I also felt more professional and confident when discussing prices with clients, you know? It was like a light bulb moment. I finally saw how my business could be both creative and profitable. So why should you care about using a pricing calculator? Let's dive into why it's such a powerful tool. Pricing your services doesn't have to be a guessing game. With a calculator, you get a data-driven price that's tailored to your specific needs. This was a game changer for Ben Hartley, a wedding photographer known for his educational podcast. He often talks about how early in his career, he used to underprice his services out of fear of losing clients. A pricing calculator helped him confidently set rates that matched his growing reputation. Another thing is that it helps you avoid underpricing, which is a common mistake for many photographers. By factoring in all your costs, including those hidden ones like equipment wear and tear, insurance, or even ongoing education, you're ensuring that every job you take on is profitable. And of course, knowing that your prices are fair and well calculated gives you the confidence to stand by them, even if a client tries to negotiate. All right, now let's get into the how-to part, because it's not just about knowing these tools exist, but also using them effectively. First thing you need to do is start listing all of your costs. This includes both fixed costs like your camera gear, software subscriptions, and insurance, and variable costs like travel, props, or any assistant fees. Don't forget to account for taxes. For example, let's say you're a wedding photographer. Your fixed costs might include your camera bodies and lenses, while your variable costs could include second shooters, travel, and overnight stays for destination weddings. Estimate the amount of time you'll spend on a project, from shooting to editing to client meetings. This is crucial because your time is money. A great example is Peter McKinnon, who often talks about the long hours he puts into post-processing. If you're spending 10 hours editing a wedding, that needs to be reflected in your pricing. Decide how much profit you want to make on top of covering your costs. This is your margin and it should reflect your business goals. For instance, if you're an established photographer like Joy Zamora, your profit margin will be higher because of your brand's value. But if you're just starting out like a budding freelancer in your local area, you might set a more modest margin while building your portfolio. While the calculator gives you a solid baseline, it's also important to consider the market you're in. Are you in a high demand area? What are other photographers charging? This is something Manny Oritz, a portrait photographer, often talks about. Understanding your local market is key to setting prices that clients are willing to pay. Plug all this information into the pricing calculator. The tool will do the math for you and give you a suggested price. There are several popular calculators available online, such as those from NPPA, the National Press Photographers Association, or ASMP, the American Society of Media Photographers, which cater to different types of photographers. So the result is your baseline price. You might adjust it slightly depending on the client, project specifics, or current market conditions, but this gives you a solid foundation. In case you might be wondering when should you actually use this tool, let me break it down for you. Whenever you take on a new type of photography work, whether it's weddings, portraits, or commercial shoots, use the calculator to set a starting price. This is especially true for photographers who do a variety of shoots, ranging from fashion editorials to corporate headshots. Each type of work requires a different pricing strategy, and a calculator can help you navigate that. If your costs change significantly, such as upgrading your gear or increasing your marketing budget, it's a good idea to recalculate your prices. And if you're moving to a new area or targeting a different client base, the calculator helps you adjust your prices accordingly. And one thing I recommend is reviewing your pricing at least once a year. Costs can change and so can your goals, so it's good to keep your pricing up to date. Alright, now let's get into that how-to part, because it's not just about knowing these tools exist, but also about using them effectively. Let's walk through an example so you can see exactly how this works in practice. First, start by listing all of your costs. This includes fixed costs like your camera gear and software subscriptions, and variable costs such as travel, props, or assistants. Let's say you're a wedding photographer and you have 2 camera bodies, lenses, and a laptop for editing. Those are your fixed costs. You also travel for weddings, sometimes requiring overnight stays, so travel and accommodation become your variable costs. For example, you calculate that your fixed monthly costs are around $500, and for a wedding gig, you estimate $150 for travel expenses. Next, calculate how much time you'll spend on the project. This includes shooting, editing, and meeting with the client. For this wedding, you estimate 8 hours of shooting on the day of the event, 2 hours for travel, and 12 hours of editing. That's 22 hours of work total. So let's say you value your time at $50 an hour, that's $1,100 just for your time. Now let's set your profit margin. This is the additional amount you want to earn beyond covering your costs. A common starting point is a 20% profit margin. With your costs adding up to $650, fixed and variable, and your time valued at $1,100, the total comes to $1,750. If you add a 20% profit margin, you're looking at an additional $350, bringing the total to $2,100. Before finalizing your price, think about the market you're in. Are other wedding photographers in your area charging a similar rate? If you're in a high demand area, you might be able to charge even more. If you're in a smaller market, you may need to adjust slightly. Let's say in your local market, wedding photographers are charging around $2,000 to $2,500 for similar services. This tells you that your $2,100 estimate is well within a reasonable range. Now, plug all of this information into the pricing calculator. I'll demonstrate using a tool from the NPPA. Enter your fixed costs, variable costs, time, and desired profit margin. The calculator will instantly provide a suggested price. Once you've got your result, adjust if necessary. You might need to tweak it slightly depending on the client's budget, special requests, or market demand. But having this solid foundation ensures you're not underselling yourself. In our example, we calculated $2,100 for the wedding photography job, which is aligned with market rates and ensures you're covering your costs while making a fair profit. So there you have it. Photography pricing calculators are not just a nice to have, they're an essential tool for any photographer serious about running a profitable business. Whether you're just starting out or are a seasoned pro, these calculators can save you time, eliminate guesswork, and give you the confidence to charge what you're truly worth. I hope this video has helped with the process of pricing your services. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips to take your photography business to the next level. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.